Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Thank you once again for clicking on this somewhat beautiful mug for your entertainment. It's always appreciated. Quick FYI, this review will contain some spoilers, so to all that haven't seen the movie, fair warning. Today we'll be talking about Twisters, the sequel to the 1996 movie Twister. I like when they just add S to things, Alien, Aliens, Twister, Twisters, which grossed upwards of $494 million worldwide on a budget of $92 million. Really cooked up a storm at the box office, didn't it? It starred the late great Bill Paxton and Helen Hunt, and a number of other very familiar faces. It was a pretty stacked cast for its time. This installment stars Glenn Powell, Hangman from Top Gun. His career has definitely taken off since that film. God, I love those puns. He was recently in a movie called Hitman, directed by Richard Linklater, who directed Dazed and Confused. I would actually say check out that movie. He was very mercurial in that one. His best so far. And Daisy Edgar Jones from Normal People fame. Very good show, would also definitely recommend that one. Which co-starred Paul Mescal, who's going to be playing the upcoming grown-up version of Lucius in the upcoming Gladiator 2, which should be very interesting. When I was a young boy, young man, and I watched the first movie on VHS. 90s kid. At least once every 2 to 3 years. It was and still is a very fun, enjoyable movie about some crazy people that chase twisters for research. Like voluntarily get as close as humanly possible, cause why not? Not all heroes wear capes. This is done so they can predict when the next twister formation will happen, which in turn will help give people enough time, or should I say more time, to get to minimum
safe distance
to have the best chance of survival. What does this movie do? The exact same thing. And it's all the better for it. Only this time you're following some younger hot crazy people that are still chasing twisters so that they can collect data that will help predict the next formation of twisters, yada 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 yada.
Same, but different.
What do I think of it? Hey, there are some movies that don't need to break the formula, because if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It's not always the case, but sometimes go with what works. This movie does exactly that, and it's a heck of a lot of fun. Is this movie predictable? Yes. Have I talked about how predictability can be a bad thing in previous videos? Yes. For this particular movie, do I care? No. When I bought the ticket, I got exactly what I was expecting. And if you go in with the same mindset, I guarantee you will also have a whirlwind of a good time. This movie follows Daisy Edgar Jones' character at the start, a wide-eyed, enthusiastic, childish storm chaser. I'm talking very childish. Like, la-di-da. Let's all stand close to this devastating, tower-shattering twister. This is gonna be so much fun. Nothing bad can happen ever. But little does she know this is the start of the movie, and the lead character needs to have something tragic happen that would propel her to the next stage of her character arc.
I see what you did there.
And after the tragedy befalls her, some time passes, and an old friend who survived the tragedy brings with him her call to action, which is too arousing to deny, and we set off on our adventure. Like I said, people, this movie has all the trappings of a basic hero's journey, and I don't even care. Along the way, she teams up with Glenn Powell, a young, brash, charismatic, loud, obnoxious, yet intellectual fellow storm chaser, who's more than meets the eye with his quirky group of zany colleagues who have been updated to suit the times with YouTube channels and all that good stuff. Together they get to know one another, surprise one another, and help one another to defeat Mother Nature with powder and save the day. To not beat around the bush, this movie kept me very entertained throughout its runtime. It doesn't dilly-dally with too much backstory, just enough to give the characters some way to help us root for them. Sometimes that's all you need. The performances of everyone is solid. The transition of Daisy Edgar Jones' character from being nonchalant, ditzy, and carefree in the face of unpredictable scenarios to being obviously more grown up and cautious when the time calls for it. That was portrayed very well by Daisy Edgar Jones. And I appreciate that she wasn't one note throughout the movie and that there was some added depth to her character. Well done, Daisy. Glenn Powell also cast accordingly as the good-looking, confident archetype that easily sweeps our heroine off her feet even if she desperately tries to stay on the ground. A girl can only withstand so much. Try hard. But he also plays his role very well, and you find yourself championing for him and her. So credit where credit is due. All the supporting cast give adequate performances and move the plot along pretty well. To all the ones that watched the first movie, they do have a little bait and switch and have our heroine teaming up with in it for the money people, but after some sinister dealings are revealed, she joins forces for in it for the science team, who do make money by selling merchandise, because money rules the world, who are we kidding? But they use it to help tornado-stricken towns, while the bad guys swoop in and take advantage of the tornado-stricken towns. The dichotomy, I tell you. Because we gotta have baddies doing bad things. What's the difference between tornadoes and twisters anyway? They are the exact same thing, just different wording. The more you know, you're welcome. The pace of this movie is also exactly as it needs to be. Thinking about it, I wouldn't cut anything out. It flows rather well, which works to its favor. Special effects of the movie are also very good. They have to be. This movie cost
$100 billion.
It cost 200 million. But while I'm watching it, I'm asking myself, why does it cost so much? Just for the special effects? I know that they're expensive, but that expensive? $200 million for a Twisters movie? I don't really have much else to say about this movie. Got what I expected, wasn't disappointed. It's a fun time at the theater. It's a rehash of the first with newer technology. But like I said, it works here. Try to watch it on a massive screen with adequate Dolby surround sound to really immerse you into it. And you should have a really good time with it, honestly. Until then, like, share, comment, subscribe. I'm most thankful for it. And as always, peace, love, and I'll see you when I see you.